What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Refinement. Come on in. We are visiting my friend's shop. She has a brick and mortar, a warehouse, and a live streaming business. She's not open yet to the public, but this is sort of her display area. So in here, you could order stuff for wholesale. You could buy stuff retail. You can see it's set up actually for a live streaming setup. So she actually live streams on Facebook and other websites. You guys know I stream on the platform Whatnot, but I could just as easily stream on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. This is set up for that. They have tons and tons of products and they're really, really deep. This is really interesting because it's set up in an office setting, right? So inside here we have offices that can each be used as a streaming session, a streaming area. And if we come down here, we can actually see I am streaming for her today with her inventory. So this is the show going on back here. There are 600 shoes. And essentially what we're doing is we are selling through. I am streaming right now on YouTube and Whatnot at the same time and try to get a larger audience base. This is what I mean by if you're doing cross platforms, and you don't have to delist, relist, it helps a lot because we're on 2 different platforms, but I only need to sell it one time. Only one platform can accept the payment. So I'm using multiple traffic's platform, but just for one, we can also connect TikTok or Instagram to that, and that would help drive more traffic. One thing about working in a setting like this is an office suite. So it's actually much quieter. The temperature can be controlled a lot better, and it's like a better experience for the streamers for sure, but it's very difficult to get inventory in and out of here. You can see there's the little doorways to inventory in and out. You could not actually move a pallet through here. You have to unbox everything in the warehouse and bring it in here, and it makes it much more difficult to actually get it. I'm a big fan of the low cost, no cost method, trying to keep costs down as much as possible. You can see that the way that she is displaying some of the inventory is just in the boxes that they came. This is a really good way of saving money. Something comes in, just cut off the top, and then that becomes your display case for it. Really important to try to just keep costs low because when you run a business, especially her, she's trying to expand, costs a lot of money and it's expensive. We actually brought our full streaming equipment here today. So like ring light, our iPads. I brought 3 employees over here. The goal is to do 12,000 today. So like I base my shows based on what inventory is available. That's really important. So you don't think about how much cash you can make. You actually think about what the opportunities are that could be X. So if we sell all 600 pairs of shoes, it'll be around 12,000 revenue. And then I'll pay Bella her cut and pay my staff her cut. And then after everything that's left, that's when you pay yourself. So it is difficult to get started. Back here, each one of these offices is another streaming room, which is very cool here. I want to have at least 3 streams going 24/7, but this place is set up for like up to 10 different streams that happen simultaneously. Very, very cool. Back here, you can see she has different types of inventory systems, but back here, we've got different types of Z-racking for clothing, kids, adult, all of these are on wheels, which is really awesome. This shipping area is the same at my place. So like, you guys probably recognize this setup from my shop. We have 25 of these, and I really like these because they last forever. Here's another one that is a shorter one, but these food grade shelves I love because they resist dust, and reselling in general is super, super dusty. So back here you can see there's another stream, more setup. This looks like beauty, hydration is a big category, kitchenware. These are sort of like widgets that you'd see at the flea market or like, we'll go back over here.
Tell me the 70s aren't back. Like, look how adorable she is.
I love it.
Look how gorgeous.
She also has a wheel over here. But really important to try to keep your audience engaged as much as possible. These types of goods are the cheap, normal goods that you find like on websites, Temu, Shein, Amazon for the most part, even eBay. Most of the items are under $12. This is the stuff. So I don't know if everyone listening knows, but half of the items sold on ebay.com are $12 and under. And this is the kind of stuff that you would see. You would see chargers, little widgets, hand fans, coolers, kitchen gadgets, water bottles. This is stuff that's really $12 and under, free shipping. These goods cost between $1 and $10, and you sell them for $12 to $20. That's the 99% of the stuff. You can experiment with different styles. She also sells dresses, which is cool. The way that this is set up, it's to help display a wide variance of colors. You want to have the biggest selection that you can, the biggest selection of sizes. This is cool because the dresses that she's selling, she has sizes as small as extra small, all the way up to 20W, which is a great size selection. That's pretty much everyone. And it's interesting, if you're going to sell stuff in the US, you want to have that higher size range. And in Asia, they even go the smaller direction even more. It's like triple extra small, but all the way up to 20W and higher in sizes really helps you get as many customers as possible. The way this is sorted, they actually pre-sorted before I got there. So this show is actually super easy. We got here, we set up the show, we're gonna start streaming immediately. We are numbering all of the sales. I'll show you guys over here. We're numbering all the sales 1 through 600. The goal is to sell 600 items today. We are numbering them 1 through 600 as they sell. And when my shippers come in here this evening, they will pack everything and get it ready for shipping. And what they're gonna have to do is pack everything, and then we're gonna have to move it onto a pallet in the hallway. And then I have a driver coming tomorrow morning to pick up the shipments. It's actually pretty complicated logistics wise to get multiple pallets of stuff to the post office. And it's interesting because the logistics and fulfillment in the US is actually behind a lot of countries in Asia. In Asia, most things are sold at the display. So you show a display and the actual manufacturer will fulfill it to the customer, which makes a lot more sense because really if there was just thousands of people with these products for display, then they could present the products and get them shipped to the customer super quick because manufacturers just do that part. So it's just influencers, manufacturers in Asia. In the US, there's like a lot of middle people that handle physically touching the inventory, which doesn't really make sense, to be honest, because look at how difficult it is to fulfill this and display here versus if we just had one of every shoe, it would probably fit on a display rack like this. So we could, if I was presenting these and I had a warehouse behind me for fulfillment, I could say, hey guys, we have size 5.5, 6, 7, 8. Sale, right? Give that information to the fulfillment company. They would take care of it. In that scenario, you could sell way more items than currently because we have to stop early to actually fulfill everything. It takes a long time. I dropped off a sample box. One thing that you can do when you are working with friends is you can trade inventory. Her audience is different than mine. I brought her some cosmetics to sell. There are 10 products in here. And I'm going to trade with her these products for different products so that we can mix it up, keep it interesting. Her audience is completely different than mine. So one thing is when you buy inventory, this is an example, you can see this particular style. There's like 50 pairs of this one style, and that's really hard to sell to your audience. No matter how good you are, it gets stale, right? It'd be better to have shoes that you only have one row of, or one size run, because then there's a little bit of limited hype and it's easier to be able to change it so people don't lose interest. Down here you can see this is probably overstock because you can see these styles are probably much more popular. This is really cool, this little velvet loafer. It is really important to realize that the variety is really what people want. A lot of people want stores that are as small as possible, but it makes it hard for a buyer to find something that they like. These are very varied, right? You're going to want to check quality. And when you're displaying it to someone, you want to give them as many reasons to buy it as possible. Also, everything is just like YouTube. So if you look at my streamers, I try to get 2 people talking about it, different personalities. It's not on purpose, but they're different heights. And it's like just a unique situation where you get to hear from 2 different hosts. We're changing the shoes every 3 shoes to keep it interesting. And we're trying to sell shoes in 10 to 15 second format to keep it as interesting as possible for customers. But it's really cool to visit people because you can see how they do different things. You can look at their scheduling, the way they do their janitorial. Everything is so cool to me because everyone does their business a little bit different. And my business has like almost 20 people working there. There's probably that many people that work here too. It's cool to see how people manage schedules, lounge areas. This area is much nicer than my area. It's like somebody's house, so it's like a more comfortable place to take a break. Plus, you can close this door. Let's close it, see if it's actually quiet. Oh, actually, there's a doorstop. But I bet that it's actually quiet in here. But our space is like, you're never really taking a break because you're always in the thick of it. This is like a little, even right now, it's much quieter than out in the corridor. And visiting friends, seeing what they're up to. Recently, my YouTube channel has been a little bit weird because it's like, my business is a lot of planning at this point, ordering. And so I do a lot of my work just sitting at a desk, which is not that relatable. When I was in my garage, when I first started in 2017, I was more like working with people. I was like a reseller trainer because I'm doing it, you're doing it, we're in it. Now I'm still a reseller trainer, but I am attracting more people who own businesses like this. I've never purchased anything from Bella before. So it's cool being able to visit somebody, trade inventory, do business together. You know how when you show up to somebody's house, you try not to show up empty-handed. I try not to show up empty-handed, and I try to always buy something. When I'm visiting somebody, you want to get that ball rolling because you never know what they have. So maybe for Bella, I don't know, maybe for her, selling these shoes is not as good, but shoes is definitely one of my main categories. For me, selling 600 pairs of shoes is a normal day's work. For her, this might take her months. So it definitely depends on what you're selling, what your niche is at, what is you're good at. For me, we basically sell by weight. So this stuff is well within the 5-pound weight limit. In fact, these shoes are under 2.5 pounds. So we're gonna bundle 2 together for our 5-pound bundle. We brought all of our shipping supplies, all of our tape. So we brought everything here. We're gonna clean everything up. When we leave, we're gonna take this all with us, and this stuff will be shipped tonight, picked up tomorrow. It's like in and out. So I actually think that I could potentially fly into somebody's spot, sell everything that they have, and then one thing that's super duper cool about Whatnot is that you can upload a spreadsheet of all the inventory. So in this show, I actually uploaded the ability to buy it now, any of these shoes, and it really helps a lot because it gets people the opportunity to view the show before you have it. So let's say I wanted to sell shoes for John Doe, or he has clothing, he could upload everything on a spreadsheet into the auction 2 weeks before I show up. 2 weeks later when I go there, I could just search for it, run through it, sell everything one by one. It would be really, really easy. So potentially I could do this type of format with other people. It is a little bit labor intensive because it really takes about 4 people to sell 1,000 items. You can do it by yourself, but it's difficult to do in one day. The people that you see that are running large shows by themselves, they're really taking 1 day to set up, 1 day to stream, 1 day to ship. It's like a 3-day operation. So for mine, I'm trying to do it in 1 day, which means that it's the same process, but 4 different people do it. This one was set up by somebody else, streamed by somebody else, shipped by somebody else. So it's all segmented. I think that also super important to this little table that they're working on. I've had 2 of those and both of them broke over time. So I'm gonna get a more industrial table that we roll around because it's really nice having a space to put things down and be organized. And you want to keep your staff as happy as possible. This is so important. Like, feed them. I have a new policy that if they all get together and there's 8 or more employees or staff together, I'll pay up to $250 for them to go do something. So I want to do that once a month, let the staff go hang out. I definitely recommend these white erase boards if you have them. Super amazing. Be able to write down stuff. And I'll go back here. Actually, let me roll this and I'll pretend like I'm on stream. Guys, we're gonna do it again. If you come back here, right, and you are streaming, so let's say I'm here talking about different items. It's nice having this little table. Everything is in front of me. You can show the item, put it away in the shipping immediately, right? So show the item. This is actually really nice, really comfortable. I think this is probably a 8.5 foot ceiling. Mine has like 20-foot ceilings. It feels a little bit weird. And it doesn't echo that much in here. So I feel like when you have a space that's indoor, it echoes until you fill it with stuff. This is actually pretty soundproof. So there's a lot of private label stuff. This is obviously similar to the Yeti. This is similar to the Stanley. So when you're selling generic brand label stuff, I've sold these before. These bling water bottles do super well. Cost is going to be between 1 and 5 from Alibaba or ordering it online. Really, really cool setup. I love Bella's thing. Make sure if you guys have a chance to visit people in person, if you're ever in Oakland, you can visit me. Just email me at chris@dailyrefinement.com. Until next time, make progress daily.